So we saw a handful of useful system views and tables, and we started joining them together. Before you throw a bunch of work at this, however, know that the AWS Labs team has already created a large collection of utilities, scripts, queries, and views of their own, and then made them available to you right on GitHub. One of actually the many GitHub repositories currently available from the AWS Labs team. Now, a perfect example of one of these specialized queries that have already been written for you is this one. Take a look at this query. This gathers information about predicate columns. If you recall, knowing what columns are commonly used as predicates is critical for determining distribution styles, as well as sort keys. This query provided by AWS Labs not only tells you details about recent usage of columns as a predicate, but identifies where it is and isn't already involved in a distribution or a sort key. You'll notice that this one uses heavily those PG prefix tables, in other words, the Postgres catalog tables. Another query that they've provided that I really like is one to analyze lock contention. Maybe you have a query that is plenty fast. There are lots of resources available to obtain the results. The problem is that the query is actually waiting in line behind a query with an exclusive lock or other types of contention-related blocks. Among other things, this could be an indicator of too much OLTP type traffic on your Redshift system, which is, after all, an analytical system, not a transactional system. So maybe you have way too many ad hoc data updates going on. Or potentially your data maintenance and your staging and your uploading and even your copying is not being done at the right time of day or not necessarily aligned to your reporting load. This query identifies locks and waits through several joins between the catalog tables as well as the Redshift-specific system view snapshots. Now, coming full circle, if you look at this query, this performance alert query, you'll notice it's essentially a pre-built query for the concepts that we started this module with, associating a query with its metrics, and then the query plan, the query text, and any raised performance alerts. All that information is available to you right here in this query. Between the Amazon Redshift Database Developer documentation and this AWS Labs source code and their documentation, you really have no excuse for not having the ability to learn all there is to learn about all of these system views, system tables, and logs and snapshots. So I'm providing the key links here that will get you started on this discovery process. But if you don't like to read lengthy documentation, you can just start looking through these AWS Labs queries and actually learn quite a bit about what each of these tables, views, and snapshots do. So now we're going to return to workload management and take a look at using it for something other than workload management. We're going to put our queue to work logging behaviors that we want to avoid on our cluster. Maybe identify some things that we don't have a specific query or log that is currently capturing. Or maybe we want to take quicker action on it and potentially even be emailed when something specific happens.